What's up everybody, Aditya Mahajan here and welcome back to yet another LeetCode video. The problem statement today is make the grade string and problem number 1544, and it's also a daily challenge. I hope you have read the problem statement. If not, you can go through it. Now what basically the problem states is we'll be given a string and we need to make it a good string. Now they are having a condition that if a string has two consecutive characters of same letter but of opposite cases, then we need to remove that. Okay, so after removing that thing as well, after removing those characters, the resulting string should also not have those consecutive characters to be of same letter but different cases. Okay, so let's take a look at this example. We have EE of opposite cases, so we remove that. In the second example, we have small b and capital B, so we remove that. But after removing, we have A and capital A consecutive, so we need to remove that as well. And similarly for CC, so the resulting string is empty, so we need to return empty. And for S, if we have 0 or 1 character string, we need to return that because it is great. Now the most obvious solution that comes up to mind is, okay, so let's say we have a string. For every iteration we'll remove two consecutive strings, and we will do that, keep doing that until we do not have a good string. Okay, so that is what our first solution is. We can do that through iteration. So we are iterating through the complete string while the size of the string is greater than 1, because for 0 for empty or one size string is good string. We are taking a flag so that after every deletion we are resetting the operations that we are doing. Now we are iterating through the complete string till -1 because we are comparing two, so we do not want to go overflow of the array. And next thing is what we are taking is we are taking two variables, current character and next character, and comparing them. Now for comparing two characters to check if one is small and uppercase, you can use the standard STL functions, to upper or to lower. But what you can there is one more observation, that is if you check at the ASCIIs of the two characters, the difference of small and capital characters of the same letter is of 32. So that is what we are using. Now if that is the case, if we are having the condition true, that is two characters are of same letters but different cases, we are just deleting them by taking the substring. Now this will cost O of n space because we need to make copies of the string. Okay, now if that is the case, we are updating the flag to be true and we are resetting this complete operation. Now once we do many times till we do not do any operation, in that case we will have this string updated flag to be false, and we are breaking and we are just returning the string which is good. Now the complexity, time complexity is O of n square because we have two nested loops. Space complexity is O of n because this substring need to make copies, and that is the reason why we have O of n space. Now the second solution, what we can do is with the help of recursion. This is very similar to the first solution that we saw, but in place of doing two while loops, we are taking a recursion. Now the make goods function will remain the same, which we will recurse by calling itself again and again. Now the exit condition would be the size of the string, which is if it is less than 2, that is if there is one character or 0 characters, we are returning the string. Now the main base condition that we need to check is while iterating in the every recursion, we are checking if the current character is having any particular two consecutive characters to be the condition, that is lower and uppercase. So that is what we are doing. We are iterating through the complete string, current and next character, and we are taking the ASCII values. The difference of the two should be 32, and we are removing that particular pair of characters and then making a recursive call. So this is with the help of recursion. Now the space complexity would also go to O of n square because of the stack. So technically this is a worse solution than what we saw earlier. Now let us take a look at a bit more optimized approach. Now to remove the string copies or to remove the recursion and the nested for loops, we can use a stack to do the things for us. Okay, so here what we are doing is we are taking a stack and iterating through the complete string. Okay, now while iterating, when we are at the first iteration, we will have the stack to be empty, and for doing the comparison we would need to put something into the stack. So what we are technically doing is we are taking the stack and pushing the first element into the stack. Now after that, after the first iterations, what we are doing is we are comparing the top of the stack and the current element that we are iterating. So that is, those are the two consecutive characters that we are having. And if it does not satisfy our condition, we are just pushing it. That is, they are different or they are of the same case. And if that is not the case, we are just popping the stack that will and continuing the iteration, and that will just remove the two consecutive elements. So yeah, that is the simplest for loop that we can have. And once we are at the end of the for loop, we will have all the elements in the stacks that needs to be the string. So we are just creating a string out of it and we are just returning it. Now on to the final, the most optimized approach. We'll be using a two-pointer method to do all the things for us. Now here, what we'll be technically doing is, first pointer would be help to keep the segment out of which the part of the substring would be a good string. Okay, and second pointer would be help to iterating through the complete string. Okay, so the first pointer that we have is end, which is used to keep the segment of the string, and the second is the current to iterate through the complete string. Now in the for loop, we are iterating through the complete string, and the conditions that we have here are initially both the pointers, that is the end and the current, would point at the start, and whenever we are going through the elements, if we do not encounter a disparity, that is, if we do not encounter something like this, that is, characters are same but of different cases, we will just override the forward pointer or the current pointer with the segment. Okay, and increase the end and the current pointer both, that is, the end and the current pointer both will be incremented. If we found the disparity, that is the thing that we have here, b and p, in that case what we are doing is we are decrementing the segment to remove that last element that we have and incrementing the current without overwriting the elements. In that case, we are just removing this pair and we are continuing through the iteration. And once we are by the end of this for loop, the end would be the segment, the end pointer would have the segment where we have a good string. So yeah, that's the solution. If you have any question in all the approaches that we have, do let me know in the comment section below. If you need more such LeetCode content, subscribe to the channel. And that's all. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care and bye-bye.